Several years ago, obviously 8 years ago, I was talking to one of my portfolio managers that I'm pretty close to in several of my companies, and they were saying there's just really a lack of good small cap conferences. A lot of the investment banks would come and they'd have their particular conferences, but they're very biased, and it seemed to be a void of, a service where you could get a bunch of different companies that are in a small cap space, a bunch of the portfolio managers, because some of the old ones that were around years ago, they're not around anymore. So with what's changed in the sales cycle and with the buy side accounts, a lot of the sell side firms are unable to kind of run their own conference, at least the same success. So there was clearly a void. So I decided to start this, like I said, 8 years ago. Well, gosh, in the very first one, I thought I had nightmares that I was going to come down and there'd be nobody there. I don't know, it was the crickets. But then after, the first one we had 40 people, 40 companies there. We had about 100 investors, and now I look at it in year 7, and there's over 500 attendees. We have 100 companies. There's almost 300 investors that show up. So it's just completely grown. We now have bigger sponsors. We have Cowen. We have Northland. We've had B. Riley this year. And so there's a lot more involvement with investment banks, but it's definitely grown and kind of like where it's headed. Well, it's targeted very specifically at not only small companies, so any public company or soon-to-be public company that's kind of in the sub-billion-dollar market cap space. That's kind of where we start, and that's the one side. So somebody who's looking for exposure, looking for new investors, looking to meet new analysts, potentially a couple bankers, anyone who's active in the microcap space. On the other side of it, we also think that there should be all the great small institutional investors. So we have, if you're running a portfolio and small cap is some part of your strategy, then this is a conference for you. You get a lot of great fresh ideas that aren't necessarily sponsored by a sell-side firm. Well, there's relief for about 24 hours, yes, but then, I get excited. I get excited because I see the growth, we see the people we've met, we see all the opportunity. I think most importantly, our brand gets shown around, and I get a lot of great feedback about Gateway itself and about the brand, and we get to meet new people. So I actually feel really excited when it's all over.
This is the first time we're here in Lyle's conference today, and started from 7 a.m. It's going now non-stop, and actually it's one of the best conferences we've seen in the last few years. I believe we're meeting a lot of new investors, a lot of banks, new funds, bigger funds, so it's a good exposure for the company. So really excited about to be here all day, and you guys done a great job.